This way a little.
Oh,
That's better.
That's not me.
No, that's good. Both of you. That's good. Perfect. Okay.
I'm back with Lissa Robbie. This is the last segment of the interview with Lissa. Thank you so much. It's been great having you with me today. This is the Mal for Every Year book launch for Journal Year 3. And before we get started, let's have you reshare a little bit with readers about your background so that they can kind of, know who I'm talking to.
All right. Well, my name is Lissa Robbie, as Candace said, and I've been an RN for 15 years, and I've been a family nurse practitioner for the last 4 in family and urgent care.
Absolutely. And we're just so grateful to have you here. And why this is important to me is because Lissa and I met, as my provider. And so I've always kind of had that, how am I going to stay healthy? How am I going to live healthy? How am I going to help, my readers stay healthy? So you're just an inspiration for me from the medical side. And I think we just meet really well in the middle. But so the last 2 sections we're going to talk about in this interview of the book are sections 5 and 6. And as I always say, embracing our lives year to year is really a gift. I love celebrating my birthday with my Mal for Every Year birthday walk, as I've told everyone probably 100 times already today. But I usually overlook how old I am because I'm excited about where I'm walking and who's celebrating my birthday walk with me. So my question for you is, in your experience, what is the main thing patients enjoy or fear about aging?
Honestly, I think people are afraid of getting old, which sounds horrible, but a lot of my patients come in and they say, I don't want to be sitting in a chair drooling on myself when I'm older. Yeah. I want to have an active life, and the way to do that is to start where you're at today and get active.
Well, and that's so amazing to hear, because that is one of the main reasons why I started this journal series, is because if I walk another mile every year and I have all of these years I'm doing this, I have to be healthy to do it. Absolutely. And so I train all year long to actually be able to do this walk and to celebrate another year. And so I don't want to be that person either, but I want to enjoy it now and kind of empower myself, in the later years. So yeah, I'm glad to hear that people can, benefit from this book.
And I think too, like you said, in terms of now you're kind of looking forward to getting older.
Yeah,
like,
I forget how old I am
next year and walk. And so that anticipation and keeps your health, your mind healthy, your heart healthy, and all of that. So
yeah, awesome. Well, I'm glad to hear that my book can help people, because
absolutely.
Pick it up and start working on it, and you won't have those fears, hopefully. We'll have fears, but they won't be maybe that kind. My next question is, how does exercise and good food affect the aging process?
Oh, it's absolutely huge. I think I was just telling you earlier today, a new study came out that says exercise can make your brain not shrink, which is the cause of Alzheimer's and dementia. And so exercising can keep your mind sharp even though you're working on your body. So exercise and eating healthy can make you live into your hundreds now, which we're seeing quite a bit of now.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'm glad to, I think that's the one thing that I want people to focus on, is that, you have to make those investments, and just a little bit of exercise and eating healthy foods like fruits and vegetables or lean meats or things like that. Grains, basic stuff. You don't have to go on some crazy diet, but as we get older, I think a lot of times our bodies, they have such a reaction to certain things that you end up having more stress over eating, because you feel like maybe it's the food when maybe it's our health. If we were healthier, we would relate better to food and, the things that we eat.
And what I really like about your book is, you walk a mile for every year. That's not for everybody. And you acknowledge that in here. And you suggested playing tennis, holding a yoga pose.
Yeah.
There's so many things that you can do to stay healthy. And you individualize it, which is nice. I really like that.
Well, I'm really glad that you brought that up, because I have a question for you from the provider perspective. And, I want it from your, angle, what makes a series unique, and when it comes to motivating your patients, and, how is it going to help make them make these behavior changes?
Well, like I said, what I like about your journal is that the person tailors it to them. So if you go online and say, how do I get healthy in the next 30 days? They're going to have you doing squats. Well, not everybody can do squats. If you have a hernia as a male, you can't do squat. Osteoarthritis in your knees, a bad back. I mean, we're not going to have you do squats. And so what I really like about this journal is you leave it open. You leave, the person gets to fill out what their goals are and their dreams are. And that keeps that passion alive to keep exercising and eating healthy. And I really like that. You're not telling people what to do. You're kind of focusing them on how they can do it themselves.
Very good. And how do you feel the value of the journal series will bring, what that value is, what value it will bring or brought to the individuals that you even, had as patients?
Well, what I hope it would do would be keeping people out of my office. I mean, I love seeing my patients. I think it's wonderful, and I always enjoy having them come in. But I really like where I've been seeing them every 3 months, and I can high-five them and say, I will see you in a year. Yeah. Good job. Keep it up. And I see you guys once a year. I mean, I love hanging out with you and talking.
Right.
But when you come to see me, I love saying, look at what you did. Yeah. Now get out of here and keep doing it.
Well, and that's a great segue into section 6, which is what we're going to talk about now, which is, I call it times of the essence, because over the years I've seen people struggle with, searching for immediate results, or going through the process and saying, well, my body feels funny, or I'm sore, so, I'll take a break, and then they get sidetracked and they don't get back on. So when it comes to starting or continuing a wellness program, such as recovery time or improving your scores, or most importantly, taking the time to really appreciate those small successes, whether it's a pound or an inch or something like that. My question for you is, what recommendations can you share with the readers and viewers today who are making lifestyle changes for the first time?
I think is start slow, which I think this journal helps you to do. I mean, there's an end goal, a bare minimum that the Center of Disease Control tells us. You need to exercise a certain amount every week. But if you start slow and just kind of build up, pretty soon you're going to be like, wow, I didn't exercise yesterday. I don't feel well today. I've got to make sure I do that.
Yeah, and it could be as small as walking.
Absolutely.
My last question for you is, what challenges have your patients had in the past staying on a wellness program, and how will this journal help them overcome those challenges?
Well, I think going back to section 4 of your book, stress is the number one thing. We always have those speed bumps and those stresses in life, and we make excuses and put ourselves second. And we really need to put ourselves first. If we stay healthy, we can give so much more to our communities, to our family, to our friends, to our loved ones. And I think your journal really helps keep that in focus for patients.
Well, I appreciate that, because that's really what it's all about, is if I'm healthier, then I can give more.
Absolutely.
If my peers and people around me are healthier, we can enjoy more, and we can get more out of life, and we can support each other. So I really appreciate you joining me today. I'm almost emotional
honored.
because it's so near and dear to me that you love it as much as I do. And so I look forward to talking to you about this in the future too.
Sounds perfect.
Thanks.
Thank you.